I'm Charlotte McLeod with investingnews.com, and here today with me is Chen Lin of Lin Asset Management. Thank you so much for being here. Great to have you again.
Thank you, Charlotte. Great to be here.
Yes, nice to see you. We're here at PDAC in Toronto, and I believe later today you'll be presenting on your favorite commodity in 2026. So
Yes.
I was hoping I can ask for a preview. What is that commodity?
I think this year will be the year for critical commodity. Critical, including many of those on the list, including copper and silver, but also there's many other critical minerals. For example, this year tungsten went up already over 100% just in the past 7 weeks for this year, and after a few 100% rise. And then the gallium, germanium, a lot of those small metals going up great. I can give you a little bit preview.
Yes.
I think this Iran war, which commodity will benefit the most will be probably sulfuric acid, because Middle East is a big producer of sulfide, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran. And then they shut down the strait. The oil, United States have strategic reserve. They can pump that, but we don't have sulfide strategic reserve. And sulfide price already 4 to 5 folded in the past year or two. So believe it or not, sulfuric, just a simple thing, sulfuric acid, because it is used in the battery, used in the war. So Russia already banned the export of sulfide because for their war effort, and that's triggered the dramatic rise of sulfuric acid. So I think Monday, which commodity I bet will rise the most, and then you got a preview of my talk, will be sulfuric acid.
So nobody has ever mentioned this market to me, and I'm guessing that maybe investors haven't necessarily heard much about it either. Can you talk a little bit more about the supply-demand dynamics of the market, just so we know?
Right, it's a lot of those use a battery. So the sulfuric acid, and also use the fertilizer. That's pretty constant demand. But battery has been going parabolic, and also used in making the chemical for the war effort. So Russia was a big exporter of sulfide, and they banned the export of sulfide for their internal use. That triggered the sharp rise of sulfuric acid. Actually, that led to what we already know in the mining industry. Smelter fees are negative. People are talking about negative smelter fee. First start with copper, now it's zinc. Why? Because they're sulfide ore. So they can get sulfide. The smelters in Japan, in Korea, in China can get sulfide to subsidize the smelter fee. So actually that's why the mining company is so profitable, because if you have some sulfide content, that's actually worth a lot of money than before.
Okay. And yeah, I guess on the company side, how would people think about getting exposure to this? Who are the main players maybe?
Oh, those are mostly of the sulfide are coming from refiners. So it's not a small company for us to play, but it benefits greatly for the mining industry. Because the margin actually really goes up. You see the free cash flow goes up, especially you have pyrite ore. And I was just talking to some other juniors. If you have those refractory pyrite ore, they're very bad ore. Now actually you can direct ship them. You have some gold, you can direct ship to Asia.
Okay.
They will refine it and then give you gold credit, so you don't need waiting for the roaster, waiting autoclave. You don't need to do that anymore. There's so much demand of sulfide, and it's opened up a new door for a lot of visionary gold mining companies.
Okay, so it's something that the gold mining companies can engage.
Gold
yes.
and copper, because a lot of those we know oxide ore, sulfide transition, sulfide ore. So sulfide ore is very tough to crack. Now you don't have to crack it. There are people more than happy to take it.
Really interesting. Okay, so critical minerals, that's the theme for 2026. And in that case, I want to get your thoughts on the Project Vault initiative that has been announced in the US. So talking about creating a critical minerals stockpile, maybe price floors. What are your thoughts on that? Do you like this?
Oh, I think it's very proactive from United States government side, and it will be very beneficial for mining company. I know there's a lot of mining company was supported by the United States government, and they are getting the non-dilutive capital, including some of the shares, some stock I own. So this announcement after announcement, the director of their critical mineral was at the BMO conference, for example, just last week. And then also I heard even Eric Trump was there. So there is a great push to support the mineral industry, the mining industry in the United States. It's a renaissance of the mining in the United States, probably also around the world. So it's very good for mining company.
Well, and maybe another question related to Project Vault is this doable? There's a lot of talk about, as I mentioned, setting up price floors, reference prices for critical minerals. And I just wonder, it also sounds like the U.S. wants to work with other countries to break away from China's dominance. Do you think this is realistic?
Oh, some are probably not very realistic. Some are. I think some. And then for United States, I don't think the government has a choice.
Right.
Okay. For example, give you one example. I know very familiar is gallium. Gallium is used in radar. It's used in semiconductor. It's 98% by China, 1% by Russia. Together 99% is the gallium supply. The gallium more than double last year. It's still going up very, very rapidly this year. And I heard the United States, when they produce a plane, F-35 this year, is without radar. Yeah, it's just like as if you are walking blind. You think of a plane without radar. The rumors is some supply chain issue. I don't know, is it gallium related or something else? But they see it's so crucial for United States. They have no choice. The government has no choice but to support the domestic industry.
Well, and staying on the critical minerals angle, so silver, now a critical mineral in the U.S., and I want to pick up on the conversation we had at VRIC about a month ago. We were talking at a very exciting time for silver. It had gotten to the triple-digit level, and of course, not long after that, we saw a big correction. But now we're coming back up. So where are we at right now in terms of silver? How are you looking at the market right now?
Silver market is very, very exciting. It's one of the most dynamic market we've seen. What I see is there's a squeeze right now. The physical demand is at the peak because exactly 1 month from now, April 1st, China is going to stop the tax rebate for the solar panel. So that was announced late last year. So basically, all the solar panel production used all the silver was pushed forward into Q4 last year and Q1 this year. So there's a tremendous demand for silver. But what I see, unfortunately, the other flip side also true. After April 1st, the export of solar panel, because of the 13% tax, they will drop dramatically. So the silver demand will drop from solar industry. And in the meantime, there are a lot of junk silver coming to the market. I've been hearing a lot of people ask me, calling, I have the silver coin, silverware, silver is so expensive, I want to sell and cash in. So those silver supply will come in, residual silver. So I think it's constructive for silver just to consolidate, even at this price or a little bit lower for the rest of the year, to absorb the actual supply from the junk silver, while also the reduced demand solar panel industry. And then maybe we'll have another round by close to the end of the year.
So maybe some near-term consolidation for the silver price.
I kind of expect, there's a near-term. If basically right now we're talking, it's the highest physical demand. It's a peak demand because all the silver, the Chinese factory are just 3 shifts a day. They try to push out as many solar panels as possible before April 1st. So that's the maximum physical demand, the tightest physical market as we are speaking. That's tell us it's going up, still not triple digit yet. So give me feel like it probably will be a little bit softer in the near term, but it's very constructive for the long term.
Well, and talking more about that demand for physical metal, I'm hearing a lot about more people wanting to take delivery. So can you talk about that? I think there's a lot of questions that people have about what's going on there.
Right, that's exactly the March delivery is on the focus. So there could be a squeeze on silver with a lot of investor demand delivery. But on the other hand, if there's a March, there's no squeeze. Right now, we are already March 1st, right? If we don't see any significant squeeze, that's probably means silver will be softer going on. So again, investor demand has a double-edged sword. You look at the Bitcoin, what happened to Bitcoin? And then investors, they buy it for profit. If there's no profit, they will sell it. So that's the same thing for silver. They take a lot of delivery. If silver doesn't go up, they will sell it. So I don't see it very constructive for the long run. For the silver company, if you look at First Majestic, all these silver company I own, they already had all-time high. So they're making a lot of money at $80, $90 silver. We don't need to be very high silver for them because their cost is in $20 range. Right? So they make so much money, more than Google, more than Microsoft, the profit margin. So I feel, I'm a silver bull. But I feel it's good to stay here, around here for the year. Actually, silver company making a lot of money, we consolidate, and then we still have a deficit. That's important. We have another deficit year. If we really shoot up, it will kill a lot of demand.
Right. And for the silver companies, the silver miners, they are still really waiting for the higher prices to come through in their results. So there should be more potential upside for the companies in that case.
Right, but if you look at the First Majestic, it's already higher than when silver was over 100. The stock already reflect. Because why is that? People at 100, people don't believe it. People think silver will crash. Well, it did. And now it's coming back. People have the confidence silver will stay around at least 80, 90 range. Then for First Majestic, you can argue it's still undervalued because they're not pricing in for 100 yet. You don't need 100 above triple-digit silver for them to be very profitable. It's $20 silver. Margin is very fat.
Yeah. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about how you are approaching the silver market right now, and maybe going back even to when we had prices going way up and then way down. How did you react when that was happening in terms of your investments?
Well, I sold sold a lot of silver at around 100, and that's just for the record. I have a relatively less silver right now than before. Most silver miners, I'm taking some profit as well. I still own a lot of silver miner like First Majestic, the Coeur de Lion actually is my coming to my favorite. We can talk about it because I think they just merging with New Gold, and the two Canadian projects. They will be more than $2 billion in free cash flow this year. So, and then they can potentially add it to S&P 500. So it's relatively safer bet.
Yeah. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about why it's the favorite, why you like that one so much.
Oh, yeah, it used to be my favorite, and then last year I switched to First Majestic. First Majestic did so well, I take some off and put it back to Core. It's free cash flow. Bottom line is free cash flow. If you compare the free cash flow level of Core versus other company like Kinross, like other, it's similar level, but the market cap is half of it. So that means they have upside, and then they can be, because it's a American company, it can be included in the S&P 500. That will be a big lift as well. So I feel it's relatively safe because I see potential some volatilities in the precious metal market.
Well, and you're okay with the gold component, because I know some people, if they are looking at silver stocks, they want, a lot of silver, but you're okay with some gold.
I like a lot of silver when I see the silver really can really break out, really do well. So I was loading up First Majestic, including core options, last September, right? So the core options almost 10x for me, which is really nice, and then the stock tripled, more than tripled. So that was a good run. I feel like it's a good run. Because at that time it's so undervalued. The silver is just about to take off. Now it seems, I think a lot of good news to price in, so I just play a little bit more conservative. It doesn't hurt to take some profit.
And just one more point on silver. I think there's a lot of focus right now on manipulation in the market. There's a lot of concern about what's going on, especially after this past week we had the next CME group issue. So I wonder, how do you look at that? How do you see what's going on there?
Right. I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theory. Okay,
Yeah.
there are some legitimate shorts on silver. I know some company they shorted silver at the wrong time because they have silver byproduct. They want to cash in. They want to use that to financing. They shorted silver, and then the margin requirement for silver goes up. I was worrying about that.
Yeah.
If they got margin call, those companies could bankrupt. But actually, they seem to survive. I've been watching those companies seem to survive. So of course, they always traders trying to short. They're playing against the game, playing the game. I feel is those talk like you long silver, you break the J.P. Morgan or this. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of those. I think. The silver market, yeah, it's a relatively small market. You put a lot of money in, it will really parabolic. So it's possible silver go to 200-300, but I don't think it's healthy for the silver market in the long run. I'd rather have it stabilize, and then we have another leg up.
Yeah, no, I definitely see what you mean, and I should get your. I know we've been focusing on silver and the critical metals. I should get your thoughts on gold as well, because it's kind of a similar situation that we've had with silver, where we saw the big run up, then down, and now we're coming back up again for gold. So, are you interested in gold right now? Are you investing in gold stocks? How are you seeing the market?
Yeah, actually, I'm leaning more towards gold stock than silver right now. At this moment, last year I was lean more. I mean, in the past 2 years, I was lean more on silver stock. Why is that? Because gold actually demand is pretty constant. It's come from central bank, right? The big seller right now is Russia because they need to fund the war. That's we know, but any selling probably will take over by all the other countries, and then we have this big Iran war, and then all the country Middle East probably will buy more gold. So it seems to be steady demand for gold. So I feel on the commodity side, gold seems to be more stable. And then gold company are undervalued, relatively speaking, because gold company don't trade at a premium. Gold company trading a much lower valuation than the silver versus price to revenue, price to earning, price to cash flow. So that's why I think I'm more, just to be conservative. I have a great year last year, so I'm a little bit conservative actually on the gold side.
Well, yeah, no, that makes sense. And so for the silver stocks, it sounds like you like some of those bigger silver stocks. Is it the same approach when it comes to the gold stocks? Are you going like to those larger companies?
Oh, I have a small and large. I have a mini collection. My family right now, I'm managing very sizable asset base of my family, but some are juniors and some are small. I was just talking about the big companies because they are very liquid.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So a lot of investors want me to talk about that. It's easy to trade in and trade out. So I take some off. Put it this way, I'm been picking up some gold mining company, big gold mining. But for juniors, actually, I'm still looking and still buying, and there's a lot of opportunity, very exciting companies coming out. So
okay, so still a good time to look at the gold juniors right now.
Right, the juniors, gold and silver are in different category. Okay, so right now the big company, the bigger, the more expensive. The juniors, the mid-tier is like this, junior is like this. So there's tremendous opportunity right there.
Yeah. Well, this is a good place to
It's a great
be
place
if you're
to
looking.
be at a PDAC, and good to check out the company. There's so many opportunities out there, and I'm very excited. And then, as we said, there's a new opportunity for the sulfide. A lot of times, with your pyrite, your refractory gold, you're like this in U.S. I mean, maybe also in Canada, it's very hard to get gold out. But now there's a lot of companies looking that way, direct shipping. It's a new way, and then it can be very, very profitable.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. And I think we're coming to the end here. Anything else you would mention that you're noticing in the mining space, or things that you're doing with your money right now?
Oh, I'm very excited. There's all the small companies, lot of people forming new idea, new deposit, a new project, and I welcome everybody to come down to the PDAC floor. It's just so exciting and so many opportunity here.
Okay, well, I'll send you back out onto the show floor. I hope you have a great time at the convention, and thank you so much for coming on to talk once again.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, Sharon.
Oh, of course. And once again, I'm Charlotte McLeod with investingnews.com, and this is Chen Lin with Lin Asset Management.